Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to Satsang. And thanks, Phil, for the announcement. It's so wonderful to see you all here on the screen. It's fun to see you all come in and join. For those that are new here today, welcome, special welcome. And just really make yourself comfortable. We're not going anywhere. We're just going from here to here, which is quite easy. Because that's just what is. And whatever is here in your body of mind, or body of emotions, or body of the flesh, or body of the spirit, whatever is here right now on the screen, so to speak, that's it for now. Don't try to change it for a moment, or perhaps a little longer than a moment. Just see what it's like to welcome yourself in exactly as you are right now, however wonderful or wonderfully not so wonderful. This is it. And see what it's like to rest your consciousness in your body. Just really feeling your body. Just almost like a curiosity, like, oh, how's my body doing today in this moment? Just feel your body, and you might even want to close your eyes and just feel your body, kind of almost like scanning, like, how's your head doing, your skull, and inside your skull. And your neck and throat. The shoulders, arms, your hands, your chest in the front, in the back, in the middle, around your heart, inside and all around your stomach and your belly, inside and all around. Your pelvic bowl inside and all around. Your legs inside and all around. And your feet and toes inside and all around. And just get an overall sense of your body being. Physical, spiritual, emotional, mental. Saying hello. And see what it's like. There's nothing to change. Pain is pain. Pleasure is pleasure. Sad is sad. Happy is happy. Deep silence is deep silence. We're just sitting. And then notice the sensations in your body. They're warm or cold, or is there an underlying kind of a buzziness, or does it feel kind of still and steady? Is there tightness or softness? Whatever is the experience of your body. Part of being so-called human or living in this human body is movement, movement of mind, movement of emotions, movement of physicality. It's just part of the deal. Ever movement, change. So whatever is moving or not, what would it be like if you can let it move or not? And perhaps you feel a kind of an underlying subtle vibration in your body that's either comfortable or not comfortable. Perhaps when the nervous system is a little activated, there's kind of a buzz to it. If that's here, really let it kind of buzz. Perhaps there's a subtle sensation, vibration in your body that feels actually good. Let that be experienced too. We're just kind of here together to totally welcome all of life, all of our humanity, really the whole inner human family and the whole outer human family, with all its beauty, pain, weirdness, anything. Amazement, amazeness, I don't know that word. Mhm. Nothing to change, make better or worse. We make ourselves available to receive all of us, all of our humanity. We're also receiving the breath, breathing our beautiful bodies. And notice how on the in-breath, the body expands in all directions. And on the out-breath, the body comes back to itself. So feel that, receive that. Body is being breathed on the in-breath. The body expands in all directions. On the out-breath, it comes back to itself. There's nothing we need to do. Just sitting here and receiving all the movements. The breath breathing us, the movement of sensations, the movement of emotions when they're there, the movement of mind, the movement of images, ever changing. Like a flow, open, close, fast, slow, opening, contracting. And then notice how in the middle of all of that, there's this one silent being. Something is steady. Something does not move, does not change. Something that's permanent and already still, and that does not need our help. Something that's awareing, that was already awareing when we were little boys and little girls, young adults, women or men. Something was already here all this time that never ever changed. And that's here right now too. That is awareing. Still. It's steady. It's the here-ness of being. It's open and deeply, deeply still. It doesn't need our help. It just is. It has 360 degrees radius. It has no beginning or end. It's you. This you that has been here all along. And in you rises a body, a beautiful body, emotions here and there, thoughts, stuff, beautiful stuff, and sometimes perhaps not so beautiful and comfortable. You has not changed. What you are is same when you were born, when you were 2, when you were 8, when you were 15, 25, 39, 60, 70, 80, whatever age you are. It's the body changing, aging. Something is ageless, has no age, no thought, no feeling, no nothing. And notice how quite naturally the body starts resting in nothing, in this ever presence being. This one silent being is resting always, cannot not rest. Together we are resting, making ourselves available to rest as silence, as silent being, the being of silence. Then the body, emotional body, physical body, mind body, they will all naturally melt into silent being. We only have to sit here, hold our beautiful bodies still, and receive the silence of our being and all the other bodies. And if busyness in mind, body happens, not a problem. It's just busyness in mind, body. And see if you can just take a breath and then relaxing back into as silence, this one silent being. So first there's this sense, there's this humanity, this amazing humanity. And then there's divinity, this amazing divine being that we are. So we're relaxing back in and as divine, silent being. We're not going to try anything. We're just softening our bellies and relaxing back, and let the relaxing happen. So your nervous system can be activated, your mind can be busy. Something is resting. Something is already still. So together here we're attending the field of this one silent being. Silent being, silence is truly all there is. One field of being, many bodies rising. Seems there are two or more. We're softening, we're being taken, we're handing ourselves over. You don't need to know how, but we're offering all of us to this one silent being, to the silence of your being. This beloved you. Till at some point you deeply know and experience first how there's only the you-ness of the universe, the silence, the wearing. This is your ground. This is home, home ground. It's empty of thought, feeling, sensation, anything. It's the wondrous emptiness. It's de wonderbaarlijke leegte. It's pure being, resting everywhere. If there's busyness, it's not a problem. There's tenderness, it's not a problem. It's just your humanity speaking. You just go deeper, one step deeper, resting and silent being, resting, letting that define your life. We don't have to figure out anything. It knows the way. We don't need to even trust it. It, which is what we are, knows the way. We can plan whatever we want to plan. It knows the way, which is you, silent being, knows the way. So for the next few minutes, just sit here, no matter what happens. Steady silence and your humanity. And then let your hands touch each other. Feel the warmth of your hands touching each other. And then just kind of stroke your hair, stroke your face very gently. Just very gently, just stroke your body, just very, very gently. Very gently, your arms, your chest, your breast, your heart area, stomach, belly, legs. Just gentle touch, gentle stroking. Letting your eyes flutter open. Coming back here in the space. Allowing your breath to deepen. And your body to move in whatever way it wants to move. Let it feel good, whatever feels good. So not trying to get rid of anything that you move, just letting your body move. Bodies like to move. Well, it's so wonderful to see you all. It's really good to start the day with just touching your body. When you wake up, just putting one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly and just saying good morning to your beautiful body. Just to come here. You know, before we know it, we start. Or we get our phones or computers or whatever, something to do. There's something very powerful, just for a minute, touching our bodies. They're the most precious thing in my world. If we wouldn't have a body, we wouldn't be here. Just even stroking our face. So simple, it's not taught to us. It is touching your face. Touching, just touching, self-touch. Touching each other. It brings us here. And it's very important to come here. Because I don't know if you have noticed, but in one way, the beauty of life is when that's happening, more and more people are sitting, meditating, curious to see if there's something more than the brainwash, so to speak, upstairs, and realizing actually there is more. But also know that because we're so inundated by our computers and phones, we're very much in our heads. That's how we're mostly trained. So to come down in the body and rest, learning to rest as our nature is crucial for these times, especially when everything around us starts crumbling. Society starts crumbling as we know it to be. Very, very important to have connection with our bodies, literally self-touch or holding each other so that you come in the physicality. When we are in the physicality, it's easier to rest as our nature. You can see in all lineages how important movement is, you know. Some is prostrations, others are any kind of form of movement. or any form of movement of sound and mantras, it all helps us to come more here. And when we're here, more present in our beautiful body, and it's easier to let it go and come to rest as our nature. That basically our bodies rest in and as our nature. We often think our nature is coming to rest in us. Yes, but mostly it's we are resting in our nature. And when we're like all over the map, it's hard to kind of find a place to just be here, be present. So I have found, and still, I think it will be forever, we will find out. But meditation, movement is crucial for all of us to come here, because we want to be in our nature, in our natural state of being, in our bodies, and not be so distracted. And then we can feel the tenderness, and then the heart, we can feel the heart of being, which is very tender. Being in a human form, it's very tender. Yeah. We have our feelings and sensations and experiences. It's very, very tender. I talked this morning with a friend of mine, and she had, by accident, bumped into a person on the road. It was very, very dark, and it was a homeless person, and she hit him pretty hard. She couldn't see him. It was on the highway. And, just the tenderness in her body, and just that kind of shock, it's a shock for the person hit as well as the person that is in the car and hits. And then to notice how tender we are in these human forms. These bodies are so sensitive. And by being in our head, we get desensitized. Yeah. Our body knows. Our body knows. It's number one. It knows. And the more we're in connection with the felt sense in our beautiful bodies, the easier it is to rest. So with her too, of course, her nervous system was activated. It was hard to relax because, and then to just keep calming, helping the body to calm, to let it know the accident is over. We're here, we're alive. Person hit is alive. It was really scary. And then bringing the nervous system back home. And not so much going the story, because when we have terrible things happening to us, we want to share our story, right? And there's a place for our story, but the downside is by staying in our story, we start looping, and the nervous system gets even more activated. So it's really important to go just below the shoulder into the body and feel that tenderness, and then feel the breath. The breath is steady here. And then we did some different exercises to help to reset the nervous system. In the process of deepening in and as you, silent being, in that process, we will find all these tender spots, all these defenses that we have, right? You probably have noticed. We all have our defense mechanism and survival mechanism. But it's very important to know that nobody is broken. We're not broken. It doesn't exist, only between our ears. We're not broken. We may feel very harmed. We may feel very sad. Or we may feel very happy and lots of pleasure and goodness. Then the deeper we sink in and rest as our nature, we will also find more and more deeper tenderness. And some is familiar, and some is new. I'm here in Tennessee. I'm kind of checking it out if I want to live here in Tennessee. So I'm somewhere in the middle of nowhere in northeastern Tennessee, close by the Virginia border. It's really, really beautiful here, and meeting lots of people, the different communities I'm connected with here. So I'm meeting new people. And last night, a group of women were here at my home, 6 or something. It was really fun. And even then, I can feel also some familiar conditioning coming up. I had made a meal and I thought it was nice. But I just noticed like a little insecurity. Like, do they like it? And I thought, oh, how familiar is that? And just to feel that tenderness, just to let it be here, so human. Very simple. I don't have to fix myself. I don't have to change myself. Just to feel, just allow that tenderness of like, am I good enough? Basically, that core thing. And I know I'm fine. And still that tenderness. And just welcoming that in. It's so sweet. It's just so sweet. When we allow, when we dare to allow. And then naturally in that allowing of that tenderness, that tender part in my humanity, there's just a deep peace. It's okay, it's welcome. It's just here. It needs to be here till it's not. And so we have all our places when we're with people. When we're alone, certain things are touched. But mostly, we learn mostly, as far as I'm concerned, in relationship. Because when we grow up, all the pains and pleasures are often created in relationship. So that's how it gets brought up again, in relationship. And then there's an opportunity for newness, for being your fresh, awake you. But there's something deeply nourishing by allowing our tender humanity to be tender and human. It's so freeing, because then there's nothing you need to hold up. And of course, that's a learning, because a lot of the guards we hold up are forms of protection. It's not because we're bad, it's just to get through our childhood or to get through this life on planet Earth. As you probably have noticed, it's not always easy. And simultaneously, it's so amazingly beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's like, I have this sticker of a friend of mine on my bumper sticker on my car that says, if you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. So that can mean anything, right? But I love that. If you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. Just to be in awe of our own humanity, with whatever comes and goes, being in awe with the beauty of our nature. How unfathomable that is. This mystery. And being touched over and over, that what cannot be touched, and still constantly being touched by the beauty of our being, the silence of our being. It's so pure. And then in the midst of that, we need to so-called tie up our horse, be ready, take care of things in daily life, pay our mortgage, pay the rent, drink water, care for our children, care for anybody around us, and care for ourselves, be nourished. We need to have our ducks in a row, otherwise it's a mess. So it's all here what needs to be taken care of. And spirituality, being free and awake and super enlightened or whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean, okay, I lay back and I don't do anything. No, actually, intention and action becomes even more pure, even more clear that there is also something to do. We're not here to become couch potatoes. There's also something to do in being awake in every department of our lives. You know, when we're in school, we need to be awake. We need to read whatever we need to read. We need to study whatever we need to study. We need to practice whatever we need to practice. To be awake to that. To be awake to our bodies. What does my body need? It needs movement every day. It needs good food. The highest food is to let it be nourished by the silence of our being. That's the highest food. It can be nourished by fragrances. It can be nourished by sounds. It can be nourished by the depth of stillness. It's the best food there is. And then there's the nourishment, literally, of food, you know, fruit and whatever it is you feel is nourishing for your body. Crucial. We need to take care of that. Nobody's going to do it for us. Yeah, perhaps when we grow up, you know, we have the luck that our parents do it or whatever are our caretakers. So being awake, or being enlightenment, or being free just means being awake, and it means being free, and it means being enlightened. That's all what it means. That you know yourself, and that all that moves is you. And that the more pure you are connected, it's all about connecting, as we're doing here. We're connecting first with that field of beauty, silence that we are. And that's silence in action, that's enlightenment, that's freedom. Sometimes that can mean, oh, I'm really tired, I need to go sleep. Boom, sleep, go. Sometimes that means I need to do some workout and some muscle strengthening. Yeah. Or sometimes that means I need to have an intelligent conversation with my friend. There was something happened inside me and I want to share it. We know innately, our body knows, our body shows us all the time what we need to do. It's up to us to listen to it. And when we don't listen, it will keep on bugging you. Bugging you, knock on your door. Talking about bugging, you know, there's so many bugs here where I live. And I have the door open. I don't have a screen yet for the door. So all these different bugs come in, like huge ones. And then also tiny ones. And I was thinking, like, oh, funny name. They're bugs. They're bugging people, I guess. That's how the name came. I don't know. But that's what I was pondering. But just a little intermezzo here. But our body will keep on bugging us for us to listen. It just starts with just a little, what about this? Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. And then you take the action. And then you forget it, or you don't take the action. It's like, bing. Oh, yeah. I will do that. And then again, you don't do it. And then it's a little louder, bing. You know. And then sometimes it stops, and then life will come and show you. You know, you get a notice in the mail. You need to attend to this, that, or the other. Oh, oops, I didn't do it. Then it takes more effort. You know, there will be in our humanity, in life, there will be always things that you don't want to do. It's not about that. Just do it. The dishes need to be done. We need to clean up after ourselves. Otherwise, it gets a mess. We get murky in our minds. You know that feeling when your house is a mess and then you clean it? Your house feels clean, but you feel also inside clean and open and spacious. That's freedom in action. That's awakeness in action. So yes, there's resting as silence is number one. It's the biggest nourisher. Helps us to be here. It's you. We connect deeply with ourselves. We enter through our bodies. Oh, gosh. And the more we rest and rest and rest and learn what is standing in the way of us resting, the more we're able to listen to our bodies. Oh, now I need to go here. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, now that. Yeah. It's up to us. We are the creators of this life. Nobody's going to do this for us. We need to do it. We're the ones. I don't know if you had the feeling. I know in the past, I'm a pretty responsible person, but I could feel in the past, there was always like something on the side, like hoping, well, perhaps somebody else will do this for me, live this part for me. I have not much interest to do this part. And then I noticed, well, nobody's going to do it for me. It's up to us. And how beautiful that is. It's really powerful when you really get it. Wow, it's up to me. When I get up in the morning, I sit. When I get up in the morning, I go for a walk. I call a friend. I want to have a good time. I want to learn this. I want to learn how the computer really works. If that's your interest, then go for it. Bring all that awareness, that silence that you are. Poof, put that. Devote that to the beloved that's here right in front of you, whatever that is for you. That's what brings joy. I remember also, we have so many different conditionings, as you probably have found out too. And I know I have an ancient nun in me that I'm supposed to meditate a lot. So all these supposed to, have a rigidity to it. And then, if I want to do something else, no, I first need to sit, I need not 1 hour, but 5 hours. It's like, and then at some point I have, this doesn't make any sense. We need to live our lives. So it's important not to get stuck in anything. If it's meditation or dancing or working on the computer or hang out with friends, life has a natural flow to it. Can we let it flow? Can we just let it flow? The more we allow it to flow, the more there's a resting that happens. Because we know the way knows the way. The way knows the way constantly. It's us joining. I just want to invite you, if you're having a question or you want to share your experience, I just love to hear from you. Hi, Marison. Wonderful.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's see if I can lower my hand there. Hello. Thank you for that beautiful talk. Very relevant to what I'm feeling, and for the meditation as well. And I think it's been 4 years or more since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Long time. And the last time you were very helpful in nudging me forward to answer the calling to teach. I'd been asked.
I remember, yeah.
I was very resistant for 5 or 6 years, very resistant. But maybe 2-3 years now, I have been teaching spiritual writing workshops,
right,
in which I use creativity, a lot of fiction writing to help loosen the grip on the story of I. And so it's been successful, and I've been very happy to do it. But this past 6 months, I have not felt well. And when I don't feel well, I feel reclusive. My energy comes back like this. And so when this came upon me, I canceled everything. So I have done no teaching. I've canceled any talks that I was assigned to give. And this would be no problem if I were not still being called to serve in this way. I want to give, and the students want me to give, and I feel like there's kind of a blanket over me, or I know that true nature is not sick. True nature is not feeling well. The body doesn't feel well. The energy is compromised. And so I don't know really, I feel like I should put together a talk about this old age, sickness, and death. But in my energy compromised state, I don't know what to say. It's like my open channel feels clogged, or I can't receive the way I was before I started feeling ill.
Yes, I totally hear you, Mary Song. Yeah. That's very tender and very challenging. Yeah. I would just allow yourself just to write. I don't know what to say. I don't really want to say something, but I do want to say something. I feel weird. I feel there's a blanket over my, I would just start just writing that. I feel blah. I don't really want to talk to anybody, but I do. And so just kind of in that way, allow what's actually here. Yeah. Because there's a lot of tenderness around that. Especially when there's that heart longing to offer your gift, which you have been enjoying so much. And that's exactly what I was speaking about. It's the ever-changing, right? It's the ever-changing. Yeah. And yes, there is a resting deeply in you, and I see that, I feel that, I know that. And still, can you fully receive this tender human? So let's take a moment just to see like this tender human that feels so uncomfortable in the body, would love to give.
Yeah.
And it's just tender. Take a moment just to experience that here. What do you notice?
I had the little vision of there I am curled up inside of a cave.
Yes.
And there's another me outside of the cave, like standing guard.
Yes.
It makes me tear up. I feel tears about it.
Yeah. So just feel that, Mary Song. Perhaps that's all you need to do is just curl up. Know that you're protected. It's easier, it tends to be easier to surrender to something that we really enjoy, right? Teaching and being with the people and showing them and talking around the writing. But then can you bring that same surrender to your body that just wants to curl up and put the blankie over it and wait till something else wants to happen?
Yes.
Yeah. Because as we spoke, the body knows. But I can feel the sadness behind it.
We can't know. We can't know that we'll get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like, this is the powerful stuff about suffering,
Mm-hmm.
Old age, sickness, and death. We don't want that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing how we do everything not to have that happen. And still we're all going to die. So these bodies are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an opportunity, huh? To fully meet that. And in that way, close this gap. There's no way out. There's no back door.
Yeah.
Sinks in, huh?
Yeah. I notice this, stories. I'm very aware of stories trying to come up like, oh, why did this happen to me? I don't want to. Why is the universe doing this to me? These kind of stories, and I recognize them as, just chatterings underneath it all. But when you don't feel well, it's easier to sink into stories. I think
It is.
feel well, and I feel you're a wonderful person to talk with about this, because I know from your history, plenty of times you didn't feel well, but often you were teaching anyway. Often you were present.
Yeah, have that. Yes, and I'm not saying do what I did, but something got touched, that there is still something present in this discomfort. And this is the hardest for our humanity. It's because we all want to feel good. Of course, we all want to feel good. Who doesn't? Yeah. And when we don't feel good, we do everything to feel good. Of course, why not? And there's something that feels already good in the midst of what is not good, or what we label as not good. And that's the biggest opportunity right now for you, Marisol, to fully receive your humanity, feeling that powerlessness, like, gee, there's nothing I can do right now. And to dare to relax back in the midst of that not knowing, because the true solution, if we want a solution, is our nature, is the silence, to rest, keep on resting back. Yeah, but I want to do this. And no, I'm going to rest. Yeah, but I want to take a good herb so that this goes better. No, we're just going to, yeah, but now I can't go out what I want to do. No, we just relax. And you wait, you kind of sit as we were sitting today. We're just waiting, we're making ourselves available to let that silent being that you are, you, to let the real you come to the forefront in a way as you've never experienced before. And that will take care of anything, but not as we think it's going to look, you know? And that's what it takes, because that resting has no thought, no feeling, no nothing. And you've heard it 10 billion times, but now it's like, holy moly, nothing, no thing. Let that wondrous emptiness speak to me through my body when I'm ready to completely rest there. And that takes availability, opportunity, daring to not grab anything outside ourselves or even inside ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That grasping that we all do till we don't. Because the instant reaction when we don't feel good is do something about it.
Yes.
That's our whole society. And then we go in our brain and then we think science knows everything instead of our nature.
I used to not tell anyone when I didn't feel well. I never wanted anyone to see me as not feeling well or something's wrong with me. Or I notice now I freely tell people. I mean, here I am being recorded. I don't feel well, So it's a step. But what you're saying there, I really hear the truth in your words.
Yeah.
How they're coming to me.
Yeah. This could be the biggest gift in your life. But I often say the biggest gift doesn't tend to be wrapped in the nicest wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Courage and daring.
Ooh, thank you.
It's a leap into the unknown. It's a true leap.
Thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm. It's so wonderful to see you.
See you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let me see. Some people wrote. Let me take a moment to read this. I'm just going to read it, and this person that wrote about, can you speak to the experience of chronic pain and fatigue, the experience of doing everything I know to take care of myself, to get healthy, and over again, my body succumbing to illness, feeling stuck in that and bewildered by it. In bed right now, so don't want to come on video. Gratitude for this satsang with you and everyone. Okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to name your name, so for now I won't do that. But I spoke already a little bit to that, and again, that tender humanity. Of course, we want to heal. Of course, we want to feel better. Chronic fatigue is so challenging. Every chronic pain is so challenging. Every kind of stuff that happens to us, that we didn't plan for, because that's really what it is. We didn't have that plan. Something, happened. It can be so devastating. And we come in contact with just our true humanity. We really see how much we're fighting life. I know I have my own fights with life. It's like honoring this human. It's like, wow, it's so scary to feel this. And perhaps I will feel this the rest of my life. Perhaps it will never change. That's the first honor, the fear in experiencing what we experience. And then the thoughts that come with it, like future, oh, this is going to happen. And as you speak, this person, like, I try everything, and over, I end up in bed and bewildered. It is bewildering because you're not used to it. It is like powerless. You feel powerless. And you try everything, every herb, every doctor, every pill, everything, sleeping a lot. And still it's here. So in a way, it's an incredible learning not to fight with what is. I know I can say it really simply. Not fighting with what is. That's huge.
Yeah.
So what is it like? Whatever is here right now, super fatigue, super bewilderment, weirdness, or super pleasure in case you're there right now, super bliss. What is it like to feel that? Okay, and I hear it's been 15 years. Let me just. In 15 years. And then the story is that I'm doing something wrong, that it's causing some deep shadow in me. It's fine to say my name. Okay. So it's Chris. Thank you, Chris, for sharing this. And that core belief, it's a core belief. There's something wrong with me. Yeah. To me, it's a program put inside us by society. It's so deep. And for some of us, it's through the illness. For some of us, it's in other ways. Chris, I want you to know you're not alone in this. Yeah. It's bringing up the core of the core in your humanity, that there's something wrong in you, that you cannot fix this. Yeah. And I'm so sorry you have to go through this. And simultaneously, I also want to mention that in the midst of this deep fatigue, this deep desperation that is being experienced in your humanity, there is also goodness. So when we start having things we don't have, that we don't want to have in our bodies, we get so fixated in what we don't want that we forget to feel and experience and know the beauty that actually is here. And in that way, it's like building a new neural pathway. So for all of you, including Chris, in this moment, whatever you're experiencing that you don't want to experience, let that here for a moment. So if that's deep fatigue and pain, can deep fatigue and pain be experienced here right now as it is? And it can be sometimes very scary, just allowing yourself to feel that. And then I want you all to look around in the room where you are and see if there's something really beautiful. Perhaps you have some flowers or a color of a wall, or you can see nature, whatever it is. Look around in your room and see if there's anything that is beautiful here right now. See that and feel that beauty. We're not busy with what doesn't feel good. We just feel what's good right now. Breathe that in. Let yourself feel that. That's the building of a new pathway. And go back, consciously make a choice to go back to what doesn't feel good, that feels shit, that you don't want. I want this, doesn't feel good. Fuck off, whatever. That's here. You feel that for a moment again, consciously. For a moment. And again, now we go to something that feels good. Some beauty, or just touch of your hand, your skin, and the breath in your body. So that can be helpful to get a little bit more space, and then resting back as your nature. And I know this can be challenging when there's so much activation, but I want you to know it's possible. But most of all is this completely honoring this tender human being. Human being. That's what opens the heart, and that's what brings healing also. We need to go, because when we are in so much pain and so much discomfort, we go in survival mode. And when we go in survival mode, we see mostly what's not good. We feel what's not good. We focus on what's not good. That's the survival brain. So we need to step out of the survival brain. And it sometimes means, no, enough of the hardship. I'm gonna feel right now what is deeply still and what's good right now. Just to kind of bring a crack in something. Yeah. Then you can go back. Make, titrate. Go back and forth, back and forth. That brings space, and then it gets easier and easier to rest back. And to be nourished by goodness, by that, what is good. So, Chris, I hope that is helpful, because it takes so much tenderness and love, and also to have people with you. Have people with you when you're tired. Show yourself when you're tired. Very tender is also what Mary Song talked about. When we don't feel good, we want to hide. When we do feel good, we want to say, oh, I'm good. We all want to feel good, look good, be happy. It's human. But please call up a friend and just say, it's really challenging. Can you just be with me? You don't have to fix me. Don't fix me. Can you just listen? Be with me. Perhaps we can be still together, that I know I'm not alone right now. Because the illness of these days is aloneness, loneliness and separation. Let me see. After Sarah Velas. Where is Sarah? Can you unmute yourself, Sarah?
Hi, it's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
It's Velez. Like there's an accent on the first E.
Velas.
Yeah, I have to put it on my Zoom.
Okay. Is that Spanish or?
It's Colombian.
Colombian.
So my accent's always how I keep my roots and my lineage.
Good. It's important, huh? Roots are very important. Yeah. How is the young doctor doing?
She survived and managed to find a few witches.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, yesterday was actually my last day of the first year of med school.
Oh, wow. Very good.
And I made it through with just a few bumps.
Yes.
I'm like, it was heartening to feel here I am at my altar, and I still have an altar, and I still know how to be devoted to what is like truly important to me, even if I don't execute it all the time, every day, perfectly, like the old nun that I am.
Yes. Wonderful.
I think for me, something that I knew would be challenging, and I was amused to be like, oh, you expected to figure out how to balance your true nature in med school in 1 year and in the system. So I was like, I was upset. Like, I haven't found all my people. I haven't found my Sangha. And that's been hard. And then also like staying true to myself while also being an effective hoop jumper in the system. That's been hard. And so I was like, oh, you expected yourself to do that in a year. Like there's a sense of humor I just was able to touch into. But yeah, I would say not fighting my loneliness has been challenging, because something I didn't expect was just like mourning Sangha or the loss of Sangha. I've never really been one to travel around in a little group of people. But I had a little magical Sangha of people that saw me and celebrated me and loved me for my hairy, witchy woman ways. And none of them are here. And it's been quite lonely. Also, my beloved partners across the country. And so, I've been really lonely, and I can forget my wholeness. And like yesterday, there were parties I didn't get invited to. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the party. Part of me does, but I just want to be known and seen and loved in community. And so I think it's been hard not to resist, like hard not to believe the stories. And I do feel like it is a gift to come into seeing those stories with like a fair bit of clarity. And my Welch is correct, which might mean energy's moving. But it's hard. It's tough because, I want that external validation, and I want that Sangha. But it also feels really good to like love myself and learn how to be friends with myself. I'm just very much still learning it.
We probably all are. Yeah. But it's so sincere to share, that loneliness. And how there's often not much time when you're studying for medicine, especially, to have time to hang out, And that I fully hear you. And the whole Sangha here, Sarah, receives you. I don't feel there's anything much to do here. just to be with you and just to honor that part that feels so lonely.
Yeah, because like,
yeah,
I drew like a little picture while you were talking
yes,
and some of the quotes, and like I live in
yes,
the middle, like between worlds.
yes,
And it can be hard to be merging worlds. Like I am among a lot of people who haven't known how to like sit, and not that I'm a perfect, excellent meditator, because I don't know if that exists, but I'm here for like a different kind of reality, and it can be very hard to survive in an environment that like requires that I'm like constantly at my peak performance, or else I'm behind.
yes,
And and then I want to like dwell in community and celebrate and honor, and I have to kind of like pull my horse super tight, and it's like chomping at the bits, and it just wants to run free with other fellow wild horses. So yeah, I think it's just been like I know that I am my best when I'm in like a sense of beautiful connection, and I know that I haven't been offering that to myself because I have the opportunity to like show up for myself. But I don't know, it'd be nice if I had some friends along the way, and I do, but they look different than I expected.
Yeah, I hear you. What a surrender, huh?
I know, damn it. She always knows how to. This little minx of a universe has such a little sense of humor.
Right. But keep connecting with that wild woman in you, because that's your nature. And that's the kind of doctor you will be, not be put in a straitjacket, because you cannot. Yeah. So keep trusting that she's here. She's part of your expression. That's what you are. And that takes everything to keep her alive in the midst of, deadlines, having very different, you're in different dimensions simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a timeline that's very different than the timeline you're used to. And still something has chosen to do this.
Yeah.
And so you are following through with it, which is very powerful. And also because of your background and the silence and that connection, you're able to do it in the way you're doing. Keep on connecting with that wild woman, because I know many doctors that are studying start losing that slowly, because they get inundated with how you're supposed to be as a doctor, which, it's important to learn all the stuff you need to learn. And this wild woman cannot be suppressed. It's not good for her.
Yeah, my medicine woman is the one that went to med school, because like she's older than the artifice we built.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
But I have to, in order to operate in this functional reality, I have to put on like, I have to have them think I'm putting on the straitjacket, or and I have to remember the wild woman is writing the show. So yeah, I'm grateful for today. It worked out perfectly. Ian told me this was happening. I was like, oh, I'm gonna sign up. So thanks for the Sangha and everyone for seeing me.
Yeah. I just want to challenge you, or let's say invite you, or see it as an opportunity, that when you go to school or you're in classes, to consciously bring medicine woman here.
Yeah.
Consciously, we're here together. Medicine woman, and how would you call it? The doctor woman that you're learning for, how would you call that? If you give that a name that feels really good.
Well, like in Spanish, there's curandera, which is like the medicine woman.
Curandera. Yeah. So have the curandera here, and then acknowledge that before the class starts, and then you're totally in it, set that intention, you're on, and then at the end, thanks, and you go to the next class and you do the same thing. Make it as your spiritual practice, your kundera practice.
I love that. Yeah, because it is very much an alchemical potion.
Yeah, right.
Focus on these boring things so you know, or like see the magic in this too.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Thank you.
So she will be, how do you say it? Like, she will keep embodying herself in the midst of this other embodiment that's happening too.
Yeah, because she
and
wants.
That will be the power. So then you have the strong power of both that you can operate.
Yeah, that was the point of moving between the worlds, so that they can, the stream can kind of.
Exactly, because otherwise you become like an elastic, like, help me, I'm stretching myself, but at some point it's going to break. Yeah. Here you bring it together. And I know you can do it.
Thank you. I called you, and I definitely call in the energy of power females to support me. So thanks for continuing to be one of them.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah. Wonderful to see you, Sarah.
Good to see you.
Yeah. And even if you want to deepen that, there's actually for everyone. Not for everyone, sorry guys, not for you, but for the women, female bodies here. Friday I start a Way of Woman retreat, 5 days online, 8 a.m. till 12:30 California time. So if you're interested, we still have some spaces open, so you're welcome to join. It's very deepening, strengthening, and fun.
That was literally going to be the next thing I did after I hopped off, was email you about that. I was like, cosmically perfect timing. I'm signing up.
Good, great. Well, it'll be great to have you there. It's a great group of women that have signed up so far. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. So, was it then? Who would be next? Linda? Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if there's anything I need to read.
I'm unmuted now, I think.
Okay. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, thank you for today and the meditation that sort of, gave like a transmission of answers or to what's been, to my questions. And especially the one where you said, who decides, who is deciding what I should do? And the other day I was sort of like almost like stopping myself in the middle of walking through my room, and I was like, who is deciding? Like why am I not deciding? Why do I even have to say that, within myself? It was like really an internal inner voice of mine. It's like, who do you think should decide? I mean, if it's not you. And there was all this, like feeling of the different lineages that has been misinterpreted about being an individual, and the spiritual, my spiritual root says, as somewhat Christian, you can definitely not decide anything there, and so on and so forth. So I love that, because when you said that, it was sort of resonating with this upcoming voice of mine. It's like I'm saying, I decide. And I'm saying it with this upright, I decide, as if I've never been that upright or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of your own sovereignty, your own authority.
Yeah. I love that word. I'm Danish, so we use another, there's another tone to it, but yeah, it's sovereignty, it's your own authority. There are all those wonderful words, right? And it's also like individuality is thrown out with the ego sometimes, Do you say you throw it out with the bathwater? Do you say that? Or? Yeah,
you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah, so it's as if you sometimes in some villages, when they are somewhat misinterpreted, you throw out individuality, and the one that's actually going to decide whether to go left and right and so on. So yeah, there's a lot of that that's very beautiful, and it's very exciting, that I'm deciding.
Yes.
It's also so, yeah, it's also so crazy that I'm like, it seems a bit crazy to realize that, doesn't it? Who else is going to decide?
Exactly.
So there's a craziness. There's this, why am in such an awe to that I'm deciding?
Yes.
And that the question that I then had, was a prolongation, I think, of that is, when do I know how to take action? It's like, I decide,
Exactly.
I decide, So it's like I've answered the questions, but I just wanted to share that your energy and your talk and meditation sort of helped me a lot.
Wonderful.
It's very funny. So,
Yes. Well, it's coming to life. You get an aha, like, wow. It's always right in front of our nose, right? And then poof, we get it. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. And to me, it's also something societal, because we have been, and I'm very well aware we need to come to closure today, but please hang in here with me all for a little moment more, because I feel we live in this amazing time where we're coming from underneath the patriarchy, men and women. We all have been under the patriarchy. Under the patriarchy, you obey, you repeat, you obey, you say yes. Your own creativity is squashed, and, it's squashed in many ways, and it's taken out of schools and whatever. You need to obey science and this and head. Obey. And your own freedom, thinking in freedom, is almost taken away, this natural creativity. And so when we are waking up to that, like, wow, I create, I'm the one. It's up to me. I'm the one I've been waiting for. Exactly. Then a whole other life can wake up and be lived. And then you can freely choose, like, oh, I obey what someone tells me, or I actually don't. And it's not against anything. It's for you to live as your love and truth that wants to be lived this time around. And that's true freedom. Yes, it is. It's so beautiful and really profound and hilarious at the same time. That you really need to acknowledge that. I really needed to, have that experience and having it. Yes. And that it's so necessary and so profoundly connecting me with myself. Exactly. There you have it. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I was here. I still am. So. Yeah. Thank you. Wonderful to see you. Is this Danish? Yes. Like, else could I? Something yes, like it is. Yeah, I love you too. Yeah, I love you too. Good. Yeah. You guys. Yes, oh, great. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Merit, for what you're writing. Wonderful to have you here, Merit. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, some people had to go already. So sorry for going on a little longer. Thanks for staying here. And so play with what I speak about today and spoke about today, and anybody else that touched you, because we are the ones that we have been waiting for. It's up to us. It's very powerful to realize that. And it's very freeing. And that's what wants to be lived, to really ask yourself, like, wow, if I could create this life, what would I want? What's my deepest heart wish? How would I love to live this life? If I could live this life as I would love to live, what wants to be lived? And so hold that question. Thank you all so much for being here. And take good care of yourself and all those around you. But be healthy, selfish. First, take care of yourself. Then you can truly take care of anybody else. Okay. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Phil, for hosting.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.